We are 9 days away from Michigan's 2022 season opener. The defending Big Ten champs, Michigan Wolverines, host Colorado State noon Eastern next Saturday at the Big House. So go ahead and give me your score predictions down in the comments. I want to give some shout outs to one of you guys, 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you, who get the score prediction right. So go down and give me your score predictions in the comments section here on YouTube. Coming up here in today's show, we are going to give you some insight, and it is not all roses and dandelions out there about this new Michigan player-led name, image, and likeness fund. I've dug into this. I've made a few calls, talked to a few people. I think there's some things we want to just be cautious about when it comes to a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old kids, entering into agreements with brand new companies. So we've got that and more all coming up on the Michigan Football Report from Chat Sports right now. You are watching the Michigan Football Report. I am your host, as always, James Yoder, and we've got 2 things to talk about on the show today. Coming up here in just a moment, I'm going to tell you the thoughts I have, and then maybe areas of caution and concern about this Ann Arbor NIL fund that Michigan football players launched yesterday, or maybe it's 2 days ago at this point, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But news that just came across the wire as we came to film here on Thursday afternoon, the Michigan football program has named their 5 captains, and I don't know if you name a player captain if he's not a starter, so this might have some insight on who Michigan will name as their starting quarterback for the opener against Colorado State. Cade McNamara, the 4th-year player with 3 years of eligibility left. He's a 4th-year sophomore because of COVID year. Quarterback is a captain, Mazi Smith. Tight end, Erick. Mike Sainristil, who will be your starting nickelback after being a wide receiver for the past 3 years. And then Ronnie, the heart and soul of this 2022 Michigan football team. Toss up the graphic if you can, producer Sam behind the screen, that Michigan put out just a little bit ago on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we put it out there too because they made the graphic, and once it's on the internet, that's how it works. Once on the internet, it belongs to the streets, so now it's ours, and we provide it to you here on the show, and we put it across all of our social media here just a minute ago. So Cade McNamara, Mazi Smith, Erick, Mike Sainristil, and Ronnie, your 2022 Michigan football captains. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's show. The players of Michigan football, they have launched an NIL fund. 115 Michigan football players, which I believe, although they don't list it on the website, all or close to all of these scholarship football players, then 30 or so walk-ons and others, have launched the Ann Arbor NIL Club. You can start off by donating $5 or more per month. $5 is the minimum. 18% of your donation will go to the company they're working with, which is called Yoke. It was formerly called Yoke Gaming. Now it's like Yoke Gaming, Yoke NIL. Where they started out was trying to get you to play video games with college athletes as part of NIL. It didn't really work out that well, so they've just gone to this donation method where they're the administrator behind everything that's going on there. So before I give you some thoughts, some critical thoughts here, I'll let you provide the information, right? Go to AnnArborNILClub.com. The link will be down in the description of today's video. I'll put it in the comments so you guys can't miss it. Look, if you want to donate, I encourage you to do so, but I want to make sure that you, and in a lot of ways, the players and the administrators, the parents, I know there's quite a few parents of players that watch this show, coaches, etc., know what you're getting into here. So we're going to break it down here for you. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm not trying to tell you not to donate. You make those decisions yourself, but let's all know what we're getting into if we go ahead and donate to this Ann Arbor NIL fund. So just so far, in just over 48 hours or so, they've raised $26,000. Over 1,000 people have donated for an average of $25 per person. Now, that's on a monthly basis, all right? $25 per person, that breaks out to about $300 per year per person. I'm sure there's a ton of people putting in $5. Quite a few people probably put in $100, $50, $75 or more dollars per month. They've got some things. We donate $100 a month. I think you get a Aiden Hutchinson signed jersey along with it, and some other things. I'm going to tell you about the benefits of this club, but also the detractors, the negatives that I see, both from a fan perspective, a financial perspective, and a student-athlete perspective here in a second. But 48 hours or so into it, have you donated yet to the Ann Arbor NIL Club? Go ahead and give me a Y for yes, and N for no. Provide a little context, though, too. If you, Y, Let me know how much you donated. 5, 10. There's no shame if it's just $5, $10, $20. If no, and you plan to, let us know there too. But if it's also no, why haven't you, right? You're clearly a Michigan football fan or have much interest in the program. Is there a reason you're not supporting it? I have not yet, and I'm going to kind of tell you some of those reasons why here in a second. But if you haven't donated in our Arbor NIL Club, if you have, donate to the James Yoder Name, Image, Likeness Club, and that is today's sponsor, BetUS. They help us keep the lights on. It's where I do all my sports betting. 125% deposit bonus promo is going on. Again, we're bringing it back for a third season in a row with BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/GoBlue. You must use that URL, chatsports.com/GoBlue, and use the promo code GoBlue. No spaces, 125% deposit bonus. There are games coming up this weekend, folks. 2 days from now, Northwestern, Nebraska in Ireland. Nebraska is favored by 13 points. I don't know, Sam. I think Northwestern seems pretty good at plus 13 right there. What do you think?
I think I like Nebraska there. Start out strong.
All right, he likes Nebraska. Nebraska was the king of close games last year. They had 9 or 10 games within 7 points, including the Michigan game. I'm going to put some money on that. I think I might put some money on Northwestern. Use BetUS. It's our preferred sports book, and you get the 125% deposit bonus. Put in 100, you got an extra 125. 200, an extra 250, and up from there. One-time deposit bonus. Take advantage of it. Chatsports.com/GoBlue. And while you're here, if you haven't yet, folks, subscribe to the channel. We are inching close, 9 days away from Michigan football playing a game. It's been a long and fun offseason. A lot of bragging and nudging Ohio State fans and such. Why subscribe to the channel? New videos every day during the season. We'll give you the inside scoop. We've got plenty of sources inside the program, the news, the juicy rumors. Juicy rumors. No spin or BS. There's a lot of people out there who cover Michigan football that will lie to your face. We will not do that. We'll always give you the truth and tell you how it is, whether you like the information or not. We do the fastest post-game shows in the business, and as always, unlike those guys trying to charge you $10 a month to give you no information, it is free, youtube.com/Michigan TV. All right, so let's talk a little more about this name, image, and likeness fund for the University of Michigan. There are some benefits. It's not just saying, hey, donate here and that's all you get. Kind of like sometimes a GoFundMe will just say, hey, help support this person's medical costs or this cause we're having up there. And it's just donate and that's all you get. You get the attribution. You feel good inside. Here's the benefits they're giving you. The Michigan Football Ann Arbor NIL Club, an online community. They don't really give a ton of details on what that means, but it seems like it's message boards and stuff like that. They'll have a message boards chat. Some Michigan players seem to have already been in there, made a few posts. Digital events with players. So it seems like there might be some sort of live chat, maybe videos like we have here on YouTube and Rumble. Player content. What that is, I'm not 100% sure. And then the benefit, it seems only to the player. Maybe I guess as a fan, you feel good. You get benefit knowing that players get paid. But here is my problem, folks. If everyone is in charge, no one's in charge. That's a rule in business, in life, with name, image, and likeness funds. They say a dog with 2 owners dies of starvation. Why? Well, I just assume Sam's going to feed the dog. Sam must have fed the dog. Eventually, one of you guys is going to think the other guy's doing it, and the dog's not going to get fed. The dog's going to starve, right? Who's running? Sam, pop back on the mic here. What does it take to run a YouTube channel here at Chat Sports? Just give the people a little insight from show preparing to community, all that stuff. Give them a little insight.
It takes a good amount of manpower, and I think it takes a good amount of collaboration, and I think it takes a little bit of leadership as well at the top.
It's tough as a full-time employee to manage one YouTube channel, right? And so is Yoke putting a full-time employee on this? It sure doesn't seem like from what I've seen. It seems like the players are supposed to run it themselves. Do you really think that an online community and kids will stick to this, hey, you've got to post a video, you've got to go chat with people, you got to have a live chat. Do you think the players have time to also run their website? So I think right off the bat, all these promises that they're making sound good, and it'll probably happen for a month or two. Everyone will be on top of it. But then guys aren't getting playing time. Michigan may lose a game. It's the off season. Guy might transfer, girlfriend problems, home problems, whatever it is. You're going to get half these guys fall off. They're not going to hold up their responsibility. They don't have a boss. They're not contractually obligated to it, right? I think the online, what they're promising, I have a tough time seeing it coming to fruition to be the value that they're selling right now. And that's no knock on the players. That's just a fact of life, all right? And digital events with players, like the scheduling, the coordination, everything that's happening on this front, I think is a little bit of a struggle. But come up here in a second. I'm going to tell you more about some more unflattering details, not on Michigan side of things, but just on the Yoke, the company that's running, right? Start out Yoke Gaming, now is Yoke Name, Image, and Likeness, and kind of dive into that. First thing off the top, and this is where I get very upset as someone who runs my own business. We've got 20 plus employees, all this different stuff. This is an unproven company. It's run by two former Notre Dame players who were interns for other companies just 2.5 years ago, right? These are 23 and 24-year-old first-time employees, let alone running their own company, trying to bring on hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, for a bunch of different schools. It sounds great, but this is an unproven company with no oversight at all. They've raised a little bit of venture capital, running by people who have literally zero business experience outside of running their own business. And someone who's doing it myself, it's not easy. You learn a lot. You learn a lot 2 years and 3 years and 5 years in that you didn't know. And for them to jump right into it, I think is recipe for a lot of things going wrong when it's talking about this kind of money. Number two, right there, that first thing, 18% vig they're taking, 18%. That is what we call, if you were to call in a mortgage or a car, that is predatory lending. That is a predatory fee. That feels like a Bernie Madoff style thing, like it's some sort of Ponzi scheme. 18%? Are you kidding me? If they raise $50,000 a month, but by the way, it's only $500 a player. That doesn't seem like that much. This company is going to take $9,000 a month? A credit card processor takes like 2.5%, right? Even high interest credit cards take like 23%, 18%. And then what they say is, oh, we provide guidance and this and that. Basically what they're saying is, we'll provide these players a W-9 tax form at the end of the year, 1099, however they're structuring it, and they're going to leave a document. That alone is enough to pause when you're going to make money. I'm doing $100 a month, $1,200 a year. I'm giving this company $200+ of it. Seems pretty predatory. But how do we go back in time when this company switches business model from a video game company, play video games with players, to an NIL company? Darren Hartner, a pretty well-known guy on Twitter in the sports business space, basically went and looked at the contract that NIL, that Yoke NIL was putting up with players last summer when this whole thing just started. And he basically says, please, athletes, resist signing these NIL contracts without understanding the terms of the deal. They were offering players at the beginning $20 deals, right, to at least get in their process. You have a platform, yada, yada, which from what I saw from all the guys they worked with last year, nothing really came of it that's anything to call home to mom about. And the terms, the legal terms they were using were among the most unbelievable that I've ever seen in any sort of contract, legal, business involvement of all time. Just toss up on the screen here, Sam. It's a tight contract, but this is what Darren Hartner put out a year ago, right? You hereby grant Yoke worldwide perpetual, right? Using a lot of big words. Perpetual means forever. You sign this, you can never get it back. Not transferable, royalty-free, right to store, broadcast, modify, make derivative works of, make copies, distribute, publicly perform, display your experience, your likeness, your voice, your image, your comments, your music, your performances, basically anything you do with us, plus your name, plus your picture, we can use 60 years from now in any way we want. We can sell it, we can make money on it, and you can do nothing about it. Imagine if J.J. McCarthy's a part of this thing, and he ends up becoming the next Tom Brady. This company is going to have him by for his entire career. And so with that being said, the way the laws are set up now with states and the NCAA, it almost forces the players to do this because the schools technically can't have any real involvement. It doesn't seem like there's any big-time alumni involved. The players need a school or a very well known alumni to provide them guidance, give them an agent or a lawyer to oversee the language of this contract. One, this perpetual name and likeness for your entire life, that's absolutely absurd. Yoke should be embarrassed that they ever put that language in there. Whoever's advising them, their legal firms, a bunch of schmucks. And then 18%, that's 5 times what I'd ever even consider. 2%, 3% on a GoFundMe. 18% to put some legal documents, to send them a 1099 tax form every year. They're not providing them a lawyer. And anything they're doing, they are giving them bad advice. They're sucking these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids into this legal contract that's giving them all these rights over everything they do. And taking 18% on top of that? This seems pretty bad, because if this thing was run right and marketed right, and Michigan's a big season, this could get up to $1 million a month. And this company, run by two 24-year-old ex-Notre Dame players with no business experience, are going to make $180,000 a month off Michigan football players for doing absolutely nothing? Somebody needs to have a talk with these players. There's better options out there. I've said it before. I'll run a damn fund for free, 0% if you want me to, for Michigan football, right? No one's approached me to do it, whatever. Okay, Yoke, run by two guys with no business experience, want 18%. I think the adults in the room guiding this Michigan football players need to show them this video, take a look at that contract, and make sure you don't get too deep into this thing where in a year from now you're like, these guys are making a couple $100,000 a month, millions of dollars a year off the hard work, the back of Michigan football players. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. And maybe hopefully I'm proven wrong. Hopefully Michigan football players think this is the greatest thing that ever happened to them. I think it needs to be looked in deeply. I encourage you, before you make a donation to this Arbor NIL fund, not because you don't want to support the Michigan football players, because of the predatory nature of the language and the 18% commission that they're taking on top of anything Michigan football players get, just take a look, make sure it's what you want to do. Hell, DM a player, tweet at a player, say, hey, I'd love to donate to this thing. I'd rather just donate to you directly. What's your Venmo, right? Do that instead of donating this where someone's going to take 18% away and have rights over these players' name, image, and likeness for perpetuity the rest of their career. All right. Got a little hot and heated there. Wanted to make sure we make the point. I don't like when I see some of this stuff going on, but I want to know from you guys, how many Michigan football games have you attended in your life? I tried to count the other day. I think I'm at like 70-plus Michigan football games. I thought it was like more than 100, but I went through the schedules of every year, and I'm like, yeah. I'm at about 70 in my life. Want to know from you guys. Let me know how many games you've been to, and let me know the last game that you've been to at Michigan Stadium down in the comments. All right, tomorrow, we're going to have news and rumors about this Michigan football program. Got some insight into what's going on at the running back position. Have a little bit of chatter on the offense, J.J. McCarthy, Cade, McNamara. And I think tomorrow, maybe later in the weekend, we're going to do something new. We're going to bring the Michigan football flash mob to the internet. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. We'll be back on Friday. And so, by the way, one more thing. Tomorrow, Friday, 1,000 days since Ohio State's beat Michigan. So make sure you celebrate 1,000 days since the Buckeyes have beat Michigan. I don't even remember. That's like, no one even heard of Anthony Fauci the last time it happened. I mean, think about how long ago that is. 1,000 days. Ohio State, total poverty program at this point. We'll be back tomorrow. Go Blue.